Hello everyone, how are you? Hope you are doing well. I pray to God for your wellness and happiness. I'm Karthishwaran and today I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak with you about some fascinating concepts in the world of information technology. As someone deeply passionate about technology and its informative potential, I have spent around 14 years of working in this dynamic field. So IT it is not just a field of study or a career path for me. It's a dynamic landscape that continuously evolves, shapes industries, and touches every aspects of our lives. Throughout the series of podcasts, I hope to share with you some insights into key IT concepts that are shaping our present and defining our future. So, from cloud computing and artificial intelligence to cybersecurity and data analytics, these concepts are not just buzzwords but critical pillars that underpin how businesses operate, how societies function, and how we connect with each other in this digital age. So, without further ado, let's dive into the exciting world of IT concepts and explore how they are revolutionizing our world today. So, the first concept we are going to see about is cloud computing. So, cloud computing is a general term for the delivery of hosted computing services and IT resources over the internet with pay as you go pricing. Users can obtain technology services such as processing power, storage, and databases from a cloud provider. So it will eliminate the need for purchasing and operating and maintaining on-premises physical data centers and servers. So the concept we are going to see touch base today are, so I can say that how could a cloud computing works, types of cloud computing services, deployment models, use cases, service providers, and the security, and some details about the future of cloud. Okay, let's get started into how cloud computing works. So a cloud can be a private, public, or a hybrid. A public cloud sells services to anyone on the internet. A private cloud is a proprietary network or a data center that supplies hosted services to a limited number of people. With certain access and permission settings, a hybrid cloud offers a mixed computing environment where data and resources can be shared between both public and private clouds. Regardless of the types, the goal of cloud computing is to provide easy, scalable access to computing resources and IT services. Cloud infrastructure involves the hardware and software components required for proper deployment of cloud computing model. Cloud computing can be also thought of as a utility computing or on-demand computing. So the name of the cloud computing was inspired by the cloud symbol that's often used to represent the internet in flowcharts and diagrams. So the name which we are using for the cloud computing is it's inspired by the cloud symbol. So when we represent internet through flowcharts or diagram, we used to represent it as a cloud. So that's how its name was derived from that cloud computing. Okay, now let's see how cloud computing works. So cloud computing lets client devices access rented computing resources such as data, analytics, and cloud applications over the internet. It relies on a network of remote data centers, servers, and storage systems that are owned and operated by cloud service providers. These providers are responsible for ensuring the storage capacity, security, and computing power needed to maintain the data users send to the cloud. So typically, the following steps are involved in the cloud computing. The first step is an with network connection links to the front end, the accessing client device, browser, network, and cloud software applications with the backend, which consists of databases, servers, operating systems, and computers. So second point is the backend functions are as a repository, storing data accessed by the front end. So the third point is a central server manages communications between the front and backends. It relies on the protocols to facilitate the exchange of data. The central server uses both software and middleware to manage connectivity between different client devices and cloud servers. Typically, there is a dedicated server for each application or workload. Cloud computing relies heavily on the virtualization and automation technologies. So virtualization is lets IT organizations create virtual instances or servers, storage, and other resources that let multiple VMs or cloud environments run on a single physical server using a software known as hypervisor. This simplifies the abstraction and provisioning of cloud resources into logical entities, letting users easily request and use these resources. Automation and accompanying orchestration capabilities provide users with a high degree of self-service to provision resources, connect services, and deploy workloads without direct intervention from the cloud provider's IT staff. So this will eradicate any third party's involvement in your data center. That's what it is a cloud capability means. Okay. Let's see about the different types of cloud computing services. So cloud computing services can be classified into three general service delivery categories. So first is infrastructure as a service, simply called as IaaS. So IaaS providers such as Amazon Web Services supply a virtual server instance and storage as well as application programming interfaces, that is called APIs, and that let users migrate workloads to a virtual machine. Users have an allocated storage capacity and can start, stop, access, and configure the VM and storage as desired. So the IaaS providers offer small, medium, large, extra large, and memory or compute optimized instances. In addition to enabling customization of instances for various workload needs, the IaaS cloud model is closer to a remote data center for business users. The next concept we are going to discuss is platform as a service, simply called as PaaS. So, in the PaaS model, cloud providers host development tools on their infrastructures. Users access these tools over the internet using APIs, web portals, or gateway software. PaaS is used for general software development, and many PaaS providers host the software after it's developed. Examples of PaaS products include Salesforce Lightning, AWS Elastic Beanstalk, and Google App Engine. So next concept we are going to see is software as a service, that is SaaS, SaaS. SaaS is a distribution model that delivers software applications over the internet. These applications are often called web services. Users can access SaaS applications and services from any location using a computer or a mobile device that has internet access. In the SaaS model, users gain access to application software and databases. An example of SaaS application is Microsoft 365 for productivity and email services. The next concept we are going to see is function as a service, FaaS, that is FaaS. So in FaaS, it is also known as serverless computing. Lets users run code in the cloud without having to worry about the underlying infrastructure. Users can create and deploy functions that respond to events or triggers. FaaS abstracts server and infrastructure management, letting developers concentrate solely on code creation. That makes easier for life of a developer, right? Yeah, fast. Okay. Now let's dive into the cloud computing deployment models. So while talking about the deployment models, there are several cloud computing deployment models, including the private cloud, public cloud, and then hybrid cloud, and multi-cloud also there. So let's see about the private cloud first. The private cloud is a business's data center which delivers private cloud services to internal users. With a private cloud, an organization builds and maintains its own underlying cloud infrastructure. This model offers the versatility and convenience to the cloud while preserving the management, control, and security is common to local data centers. Internal users might be billed or services through IT chargeback. Examples of private cloud technologies and vendors include VMware and OpenStack. Let's see about public cloud. In the public cloud model, a third party cloud service provider, CSP, delivers the cloud service over the internet. Public cloud services are sold on demand, typically by the minute or hour, though long term commitments are available for many services. Customers only pay for the central processing unit cycles, storage, or bandwidth they consume. Examples of public CSPs include AWS, Google Cloud Platform, IBM, Microsoft Azure, Oracle, and Tencent Cloud. Now let's go into hybrid cloud. A hybrid cloud is a combination of public cloud services and an on-premises private cloud. With orchestration and automation between the two, companies can run mission critical workloads and or any sensitive applications on the private cloud and use the public cloud to handle workload bursts or spikes in demand. The goal of a hybrid cloud is to create a unified, automated, scalable environment that takes advantage of all that a public cloud infrastructure can provide while still maintaining control over mission critical data. Then we are going to talk about multi cloud. So organizations are increasingly embracing a multi-cloud model or the use of multiple IaaS services. Let these applications can be migrate between different cloud providers or operate concurrently across two or more cloud providers. Organizations about adopt multi-cloud for various reasons, including to help them minimize the risk of cloud service outage or take advantage of more competitive pricing from a particular provider. It also helps organizations avoid vendor lock-in, letting them switch from one provider to another if needed. However, multi-cloud deployment and application development can be challenged because the differences between cloud provider services and APIs. So multi-cloud deployment should become easier as cloud providers work toward standardization and convergence of their services and APIs. Industry initiatives such as Open Cloud Computing Interface aim to promote interoperability and simplify multi-cloud deployments. Now let's talk about the community cloud. So the community cloud, which several organizations share, supports a particular community that has the same concerns, mission, policy, security requirements, and compliance considerations. A community cloud is either managed by these organizations or a third-party vendor and can be on or off premises. So let's talk about the characteristics of cloud computing. So the cloud computing has been around for several decades, and today's cloud computing infrastructure demonstrates an array of characteristics that have brought meaningful benefits to businesses of all sizes. So the characteristics of cloud computing includes self-servicing model, so that is self-servicing provisioning. The end user can spin up computer resources for almost any type of workload on demand. An end user can provision computing capabilities such as server time and network storage, eliminating the traditional need of for an IT administrator to provision and manage computer resources. So in that case, it has taken away a lot of jobs from these IT administrators. Okay, let's move on to elasticity. Elasticity is like companies can freely scale up as computing needs increase and scale down as demands increase. So this eliminates the need for massive investments in local infrastructure, which may not remain active. So the elasticity again, the other concept which cloud computing has plugged that from the real estate persons. Okay, next we go about the pay per use. Compute resources are measured at a granular level, letting users pay only for the resources and workloads they use. Next, we are talking about workload resilience. CSPs often deploy redundant resources to ensure resilient storage and keep users' important workloads running, often across multiple global regions. Migration flexibility. Organizations can move certain workloads or to from the cloud or to different cloud platforms automatically. So next is the broad network access. A user can access cloud data or upload data to the cloud from anywhere with an internet connection using any device. Then it is the multi-tenancy and resource pooling. So multi-tenancy lets several customers share the same physical infrastructures or the same applications, yet still retain privacy and security over their own data. With resource pooling, cloud providers service numerous customers from the same physical resources. The resource pools of the cloud providers should be large and flexible enough so they can service the requirements of multiple customers. Now it's come to the security. Security is integral part of cloud computing. Most providers prioritize the application and maintenance of security measures to ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data being hosted on their platforms. Along with strong security features, providers also offer various compliance certifications to ensure that their services adhere to industry standards and regulations. What are the benefits of cloud computing? So we are going to see about the benefits which it is offering. Okay, let's talk about the cost management. So using cloud infrastructure, we can reduce capital cost. An organization, they don't have to spend massive amounts of money buying and maintaining equipment, investing in hardware, facilities or utilities, or building large data centers to accommodate through their growing businesses. In addition, companies don't need large IT teams to handle cloud data center operations because they can rely on the expertise of their cloud providers teams. Cloud computing also hurts cost related to downtime. Since downtime rarely happens in cloud computing, companies don't have to spend time and money to fix issues that might be related to downtime. Okay, let's dive into data and workload mobility. Storing information in the cloud means users can access it from anywhere with any device with just an internet connection. That means users don't have to carry around USB drives, an external hard drive, or multiple CDs to access their data. They can access corporate data via smartphones and other mobile devices, letting remote employees stay current with work co-workers and customers. End users can easily process, store, retrieve, and recover resources in the cloud. In addition, cloud vendors provide all the upgrades and updates automatically, saving time and effort. So, next concept we are going to see in this is business continuity and disaster recovery. This is one of the main thing that is benefiting from using the cloud computing. So all organizations worry about data loss. Storing the data in the cloud guarantees that users can always access their data even if their devices such as laptops or smartphones are inoperable. With cloud based services, organizations can quickly recover their data in the event of natural disasters or power outages. This benefits BCDR and helps ensure that workloads and data are available even if the business suffers damage or disruption. So, the concept here BCDR, let's just know, is business continuity and disaster recovery. Okay. Next concept we are going to see about is speed and agility. Cloud computing facilities rapid deployment of applications and services, letting developers swiftly provision resources and test new ideas. This eliminates the need for time-consuming hardware procurement process, thereby accelerating time to market. So next concept on the benefits of cloud computing is environmental sustainability. By maximizing resource utilization, cloud computing can help to promote environmental sustainability. Cloud providers can save energy cost, reduce their carbon footprint by consolidating workloads onto shared infrastructure. These providers often operate large-scale data centers designed for energy efficiency. This completes our benefits of cloud computing. Now, let's talk about some of the disadvantages of cloud computing. While there are a lot of advantages, there should be some disadvantages as well. So, let's go into the disadvantages of cloud computing. Despite the clear upsides to relying on cloud services, cloud computing has its own challenges for IT professionals. Cloud security. Security is often considered the greatest challenge organizations face with cloud computing. When relying on the cloud, organizations risk data breaches, hacking of APIs and interfaces, compromised credentials, and authentication issues. Furthermore, There's a lack of transparency regarding how and where sensitive information entrusted to the cloud provider is handled. Security demands careful attention to cloud configurations and business policy and practice. Okay, here is the things about cloud security we have to have a concern about while we are jumping into cloud computing. So next one is unpredictable costs. Pay as you go subscription plans for cloud use, along with scaling resources to accommodate fluctuating workload demands, can make it difficult to define and predict final costs. Cloud costs are also frequently interdependent, with one cloud service often some give that through using one or more cloud services, all of which appear in the recurring monthly bill. This can create additional unplanned cloud costs. So, lack of expertise. With cloud supporting technologies rapidly advancing, organizations are struggling to keep up the growing demand for tools and employees with the proper skills and knowledge needed to architect, deploy, and manage workloads and data in a cloud. So next concept we are going to see is IT governance difficulties. So the emphasis is on do it yourself in cloud computing can make IT governance difficult as there is no control over provisioning, deprovisioning and management of infrastructure operations. This can make it challenging for organizations to properly manage risk and security, IT compliance and data quality. The next one is compliance with industry laws. When transferring data from on premises local storage into cloud storage, it can be difficult to manage compliance with industry regulations through a third party. It's important to know where data and workloads are actually hosted to maintain regularity compliance and proper business governance. Next one is management of multiple clouds. So we have seen about the multi-cloud technology that were used in cloud computing, right? So that is some disadvantage about this multi-cloud also. Every cloud is different. So multi-cloud deployments can disjoint efforts to address more general cloud computing challenges. Next is cloud performance. Performance, such as latency, is largely beyond the control of the organization contracting cloud services with the provider. Network and provider outages can interfere with productivity and disrupt business processes if organizations aren't prepared with contingency plans. Next is the cloud migration. The process of moving applications and other data to the cloud often causes complications. Migration projects frequently take longer than anticipated and go over budget. The issue of workload and data repatriation moving from the cloud back to a local data center is often overlooked until unforeseen costs or performance problems arise. Vendor lock-in. Often, switching between cloud providers can cause significant issues. This includes technical incapabilities, legal and regulatory limitations, and substantial costs incurred from sizable data migrations. So these are the disadvantages of using the cloud computing when compared to we were using our private on-premises data center or any other technology what we were using before that is implementing the cloud computing technology. And right, we have seen about cloud computing disadvantages, benefits, what is the cloud computing and types of deployment and what are the different kinds of cloud computing are available. So let's now jump into some examples of cloud computing. So cloud computing has evolved and diversified into wide variety of offerings, capabilities designed to suit almost any conceivable business needs. Examples of cloud computing capabilities and diverse include Google Docs, Microsoft 365, email, calendar, Skype, WhatsApp, Zoom application, and AWS Lambda. So the other examples we can mention is like Salesforce, serverless computing capabilities like Google Cloud Functions, Microsoft Azure Functions, and Salesforce is one of the cloud-centric customers relationship management platform. So these are the examples of cloud computing uh, use cases. Now let's discuss about this cloud computing use cases. So where and all we are using this cloud computing technology. Testing and development. It is a ready-made tailored environments which can expedite timelines and milestones. Production workload hosting. Organizations are using the public cloud to host live production workloads. This requires careful design and architecture of cloud resources and services needed to create an adequate operational environment for the workload and its decade level of resilience. Next thing is the big data analysis. We can have a remote data centers through cloud storage, which are flexible and scalable and can provide valuable data driven insights. And we are going to talk about the IaaS, PaaS, and then the other thing like hybrid cloud, multi-cloud storage, disaster recovery, data backup, artificial intelligence. Here comes the things like these are the latest and future things which we are going to benefit from the cloud computing. So Internet of Things, IoT. These things are we can say that these are use cases of cloud computing. Now let's discuss about so what is the usage of using this cloud computing versus traditional web hosting. So earlier we have different services and capabilities of traditional web hosting. Now there are some confusion between cloud computing and major uses of web hosting which we were using earlier. And when the public cloud is often used for web hosting, these two are quite different. Actually, innovations in virtualization and distributed computing that has given the cloud computing a step ahead in the traditional web hosting. So there are different characteristics that are uh, deviating from this traditional web hosting while using the cloud computing. So with cloud computing, users can access large amounts of computing power on demand. It is typically sold by the minute or the hour. That is, it's a pay as go, right? So you can use the cloud computing in pay as go for some minutes or few hours. We can use it for that cloud computing. So these are the advantages of we using the traditional web deployment over cloud computing. But these things we are going to rely on cloud computing to take on these things by cloud computing, which means a much little as of a service, and they can give an time taken activity involved in the traditional web deployment. Okay. So now let's see cloud computing service providers. So we are going to talk about this cloud computing service providers. This market is very huge and it has no shortage of providers. There are three largest public CSPs, that is cloud computing service providers. We can mention them as AWS, GCP, and Microsoft Azure. They have established themselves as dominant players in this industry. So, according to Synergy Research Group at the end of 2022, these three vendors made up 66% of worldwide cloud infrastructure market. So, there are a lot other CSPs also there. So, we can name few example like Alibaba, IBM, Oracle, Rackspace, Salesforce, SAP, VMware. Those are the many kinds we have in the cloud service providers. So we have to have a clear understanding on selecting a cloud service vendor. So the organization should consider certain things first. The actual suite of services can be vary between the providers, and business users must select a provider offering services such as big data analytics or AI services that support the intended use case. So naturally, reliability and security should be top priorities while selecting a cloud computing service provider. So the provider service level agreement should specify a level of service uptime that's satisfactory to client business needs. When considering different cloud vendors, organizations should pay close attention to what technologies and configuration settings are used to secure sensitive information. This comes with cloud computing security. This ends our discussion about the cloud computing concepts today, and I thank you for your attention today. I hope this exploration of IT concepts has inspired you to delve deeper into the possibilities of technology and its transformative impact on our lives. Together, let's embrace the journey ahead with curiosity, creativity, and a commitment to building a brighter digital future for all. So I will join with you guys on the next podcast about a interesting IT concept topic. Thank you again. Take care.